Yeah, I'm gonna say this. The New York City Marathon is sadistic. Like, it makes no sense how many hills we run. It makes no sense how just when you think, oh, that's the last hill, there's another hill. Like the entire end of the race from 110th and Fifth Avenue to 91st, that's all uphill, right? You get into the park, you got to fight off the people, cool. You get down to 59th Street and Fifth Avenue, then you got to run from 5th to 8th, and that's all uphill too. You get back in the park, you're like, all right, I'm almost done. And the last 400 meters is uphill. So it's like, your fam, like, this is mad sadistic. I'm like, I'm never gonna run this race again, ever. Nah, I'm gonna run it like one more time. Woo! So I ran a marathon in 21. I think what made this one different is all the pageantry around it, right? So this time I got to actually be part of the Panamanian contingent who opened the ceremonies, right? We got to march in the opening ceremonies, got to carry a flag. That was dope. So I met a few other Panamanian runners and got to meet them, speak to them and everything else. And then you saw the runners around the world. You saw how well represented the world was in the New York City Marathon. That was dope, right? Then my mom and my daughter got to see it on television. It was on YouTube because it was on PX11. So they got to watch me march. So for us, I've always represented Panama. I represented when I played basketball. So being able to represent it as a runner, that was special. So that's probably the one main thing that was a little different. This time I didn't really go out as hard as I went out the first time. Kind of took my time. I didn't want to get cramped. I didn't want to hurt anything. And so I really just was like super slow. It was a warm day. Didn't want to get dehydrated. I wanted to just stay chill the whole time, and I did. So I think that's probably the main difference. First time I was like, I just want to finish this thing, man. Like, it was an accomplishment. But this time was like, all right, like, let me just cruise through, see people, hear people, scream my name and all that good stuff. So yeah, I think that was probably the biggest difference between now and 21. I felt good. I ran Chicago in October, and I came right back and ran New York. And so I didn't really give my body like a chance to like fully rest, but it was still in that, like, you've been running a lot, so we're good. I recovered very well from Chicago, and like I said, as I was running New York, I didn't go 100%. I went probably about 70%. I was super slow. It was intentional. I wanted to make sure that I didn't cramp. The last time I was going so hard, I got to mile 14 and I my quad got tight and I got cramped up, and that pretty much killed me for the rest of the race. So I wanted to go super slow, and I wanted to see how I could handle it. And it was good. I felt good. It was smart to just wear the singlet, and I kept my gloves in my pocket and my hat in my pocket, so later on when the sun went down and it got a little cooler, I could make sure my extremities were covered. So from that perspective, it was a good run, and I felt great. Man, I think the thing I took away from this race really was this community, right? So I also got to do the Nike shakeout run the day before, got to meet some of the world-class runners as well, got to be a part of a shakeout run that was a little bit faster than my normal pace, but every once in a while you need to push yourself, right? And so, seeing all these runners, elite runners, who, as athletes are pushing to the max. The young lady who won Boston, she was there. It was dope. And so I think this really helped me as far as a community perspective. I run by myself most of the time. 99% of the time I run by myself. But It makes me feel good that there's a broader community of us. And when I mean us, I mean people of color, Black people, Asian, Latino. There's so many of us running now. And so it's pretty dope to see us represented throughout the entire weekend. Pre-race, on the course, and post-race. So every city has a different shirt because I want to give every city their own shine, right? So this is the Boston shirt. Boston's colors in their flag are red, sky blue, and white. Sky blue don't really look good on the shirt, but this blue is fire, right? So I thought it was important to give every city their own shine. New York, Boston, Chicago, Berlin, London, Tokyo. There'll be 6 different shirts. And again, raising money for Honor Humanity. I think sometimes people want to donate. Sometimes people like to wear the shirt. I love the shirts. They look good. And so it also gives people a different opportunity to pick a different shirt, or maybe get all 6 of them or all 8, right? So there's the base white and there's the base black. I got to think about a different color for New York. Maybe like Knicks colors, maybe the license plate. I don't know. I got to figure it out, but I think New York is probably going to be, the New Yorker is probably the last shirt I do. We'll see. Of course, you can get the shirts at hiphopcloset.com. Click on, it's right there on the front page, I think. If you're on my IG, it's in my bio. If you're watching this video, you can click on the website. You can get the link too. So shout out to Hip Hop Closet for being a partner. They've always supported me in my efforts to help raise money and awareness for underserved people, underserved kids, and programs throughout the country. And that's what we do it for, right? So yeah, I'm running for myself, to better my health. But I think what's important is, attaching a cause to that run. I think it just amplifies it, and it makes it more meaningful in my eyes. So what's next? It's wintertime. It's tough to run outside. Though it's been kind of mild, so we've been able to sneak some runs outside. But I'm probably gonna be on the treadmill a little bit more. We have the Miami Half Marathon coming up shortly, and then after that we go into running season here in New York City. So I'm looking forward to that. I got a race in February, race in March, April. So the races, again, I like to use the races as kind of a barometer of where I'm at. Also be able to run with other people. But I think this summer and this racing season, I'm really going to attack it. My goal by the end of the year is to be able to run the half like all the way through, like nonstop, just no walking, just runs, right? If I get lucky enough to get into a marathon, then my goal in that marathon is, how do I get to the point where I can run more? I want to drop some weight. Carrying what I'm carrying is too much. So I'm working on that. Working on getting stronger, so going back into CrossFit, stretching, yoga, doing all the things that I need for myself to get better and get healthy. And also want to bring more people to you, right? So I only don't want to be the one talking to y'all. I'm also going to bring more people to have conversations, because it's important that we see each other out there running. It's important that we have more conversations that make this relatable and accessible, because it's about health. We ain't getting younger, but we can get healthier. All right, peace.